Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. As you can see, this intro is a little bit different from my usual ones, simply because I spent the last 2 weeks under here, under my Z, and well, it's one of those situations where you start doing something and then you realize that it's not that great, and it's just too late to stop doing it because you've gone too far and you just have to finish it. And this is where I'm right now. I decided to remove the entire underseal from, well, from the entire car, which I cannot say it was a dumb idea because now I can sort of be 100% sure where the rust is and where there is none, which is a great idea. Was it worth it? Probably not. I spent way too much time doing it, and I didn't use a lot of power tools simply because it was too noisy and too messy. It creates a lot of like small dust. So I scraped it off pretty much 90% of it just with a chisel and screwdrivers. Boring and dull job. Now I have got a few spots that I need to access, but before I can do that, I need to remove my decuts. Alright, so this is what we are gonna do today. Basically, we just need to remove the decut pipe. I already undid that one. So this is arguably the hardest part because you need to remove the entire intake section that goes into the plenum, but it's not that hard to be honest. So and I'll need to get this off anyway because I'm replacing them with high flow cats. Besides the reason why I'm removing them, I need to take the heat shield off just to scrape off the remaining bits of the underseal. And yeah, this is it. Basically, taking off the cats is quite simple. You can find lots of YouTube videos. I removed the brace that basically sits there on the what they call banana arms or compression arms. Again, you don't have to remove it, but I thought I would give it a clean and a fresh lick of paint. So I undone it, and to my surprise, it weighs a ton. So I'm thinking of making my own, like a custom-made one, just to shave off a few kilos from the undercarriage and sprung mass, all that fancy stuff. So let's begin. To begin, we usually, if you can see, there are 3 bolts. Well, actually one of them is a stud. I believe it's the top one. So you need to undo 3 bolts, but because the previous owner, I think, might have lost one of the bolts or just decided not to put one in. I have no idea, but it's less work for me now. But usually you have 3 bolts. That one on top is probably the hardest to get, and you'll need like a bunch of extensions to get to it. So in my case, I don't even actually need to remove the air intake because I don't need to undo that bolt. Well, you won't see that, but I'll show you. I'll put a link with the entire procedure. I'll show you the extensions and the lengths that you need to have in order to get that bolt from the top, because getting it from under here is almost impossible. Yeah, let's begin. Okay, so if I remembered correctly, the stud is a 14 mil. Yep, and this one also 14 mil, which is a nice surprise. Yeah, let's see if we can. Ouch! 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 Well, be careful with your fingers. And because, as you can see, like everything is practically brand new, I'm not struggling with the bolts, but if it's your original decats, you might find it really hard to undo those, so get yourself a blowtorch, like seriously. Penetrating fluid is fine, you can try it and it might work, but I strongly recommend just heating it up like really good and just use some extensions to get them out. Maybe like a pry bar or something. You see, it's so easy. I think they just haven't been tightened properly, so I'm not even putting much force. I did spray a little bit of WD-40 last night, just to make it a little bit less painful, but as you can see, I'm not putting any force whatsoever. The nut is moving freely, which is something that you shouldn't hope for unless your car is practically brand new. And even then, to break these bolts loose, you'll have to use a little bit more force. So I'm kind of lucky. And voila, it's super easy. The only thing that you will struggle with is the actual bolts. Even the gaskets are, well, yeah, the gasket is practically new. And now, let's undo the heat shield. The actual reason, well, one of the reasons why I started it all, and see what's hiding underneath. We're not gonna use any heat right now, just to see if it's gonna go smoothly. Yeah, actually, we don't need any heat whatsoever, which I think is a miracle. Okay, you have to be really gentle with the 10mm bolts working under the car, because usually they are so easy to shear. The last one. Let's hope that it will go nicely. And it does. So let's take it off. Okay.
doesn't look all too bad. My favorite weapon of choice. Yeah, this is basically how I went about the entire car. On this side we have exactly the same heat shield, which does look a little bit crusty, and this is where I'm not gonna risk it and just use my blowtorch. Okay, let's see if it... Bow. And at the first glance, not too bad. Let's dig a little bit deeper. Okay, but before we go, I'll show you how to get to that bolt on the D-cat or a cat that I didn't have, and it's relatively easy. Let's go outside and have a look from the top. Okay, so in order to get the top bolt that is sitting right there on the driver's side, which is in my case is the right hand side, you need at least 3 extensions, 3 long extensions, and unfortunately I don't have 3 long extensions, so I had to made 1 out of 2, which is not ideal because it's sort of flexing about, but it's long enough to get to the infamous devil bolt. So 3 long extensions is enough to get to the top bolt right there on this side, which is the driver's side in my case, which is, again, being in England, run a right-hand drive. On this side though, you see that bolt is right there, but in your way is the air intake, which you need to remove this elbow, and there is a 10mm bolt here, then I undo 10 bolt here, undo this breather hose from here, and I believe there is another one that goes somewhere about here. So just take it off. You don't need to remove the brace, just get it out of the way, and this way you'll have enough room, and actually with this elbow out it's very easy and straightforward to get to it. This is how you remove it. I've also done a few things off camera. First of all, I stripped the subframe, A, to make it easier to put it back, B, to put my new welded diff on it. Now this is where I actually regretted that I started removing the underseal. It's like, if removing the undercoat from the underside is fine because the panels are mostly flat and straight, the arches is a nightmare, and you'll see all these grooves and dimples. It's just hard to get to in, especially like these areas. You can see I've got still stuff to remove, but most of it is done. So the next step will be to just clean it all up to the factory primer, and yeah, cut everything out and weld it. Alright, this is all for today, and thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed that. I'm thinking of moving away from how to format videos and focusing more on the progress, still with a lot of details, but just documenting the stuff that I'm doing and putting it out as I'm doing it, rather than compiling a bunch of videos and putting them in one. Hope it makes sense for you, because it does for me, and I'm enjoying doing this. So take care and see you in the next one.